20 years ago, mysterious spiritual gates appeared on the planet Blue Star. These gates unleashed wondrous spiritual energy and monstrous beasts into the human world, leading to a period known as the Age of Spiritual Calamity. From this chaos emerged spirit warriors, and instructs Jin to demonstrate his power for the cameras. However, the display is underwhelming. Jin creates only a tiny unstable portal, a far cry from the legendary feats of Liang Shan. Just then, to everyone's shock, assume the Celestial has come to take on a disciple, a life-changing opportunity for the young man. The Great Master's attention. The reporter is labeled as an E-rank talent, with a level cap of Dark Iron 1 star, the lowest possible rating. So he is discharged from the orphanage to make his own way in the world. Undeterred, Jin clings to his dream of becoming a powerful spirit warrior. To pay his tuition for the Zhong Spiritual Warrior Academy, he takes on multiple jobs. By day, he delivers food in trunks. He attracts a crowd by leveraging his unique status as a spatial power user and a swimsuit, demanding a refund. The aggressive vendor shifts the blame to Jin, and the customer insists they all go to the management office. In trying to calm the situation, Jin accidentally causes the customer to fall and suffer a bloody nose. Enraged, the customer reveals himself as a beast-morphing spirit warrior, transforms into a bear, and starts brutally attacking Jin. During the beating, Jin reflects on his endless struggles before being thrown to the ground. A drop of his blood drips onto the vending. The bear poised to strike again, Jin accepts. The lottery wheel lands on a consolation prize, a strength potion that grants and he stops the bear's punch midair, finishes the potion, and retaliates with a single punch that sends the beast man flying and cracks the ground. The onlookers cheer. A now confident Jin approaches the defeated knacked man lying in a crater and magnanimously gives him a genuine trunk to demonstrate its quality. The humbled man named Wu Lang blushes and asks to be friends. He flees home, horrified by his reflection. He summons the system again, and vows that everyone will soon know his name. Just then, a girl crashes through the sign, breaking it, and falls directly on top of him. A man named Alexander is running from a few officers. He is carrying a basket and a strange injection. To trick the officers, he throws the basket into the air. A snake comes out of the basket and immediately turns into a girl. Alexander throws the injection to this girl, Katarina, and she runs away with it while he fights the officers. This is the same girl, Katarina, who falls on Jin after crashing through the Liang Shan sign. During the crash, the roof of Jin's room breaks, and the injection falls into one of the cartons below. Katarina sees this happen, but because officers are still chasing her, she runs away and leaves the injection behind. The ultimate street vending system, through its interface named Vendi, informs Jin that he has earned currency. The currency comes from the negative emotion of Katarina. Vendi explains that any frustration, anger, or annoyance directed at him becomes redeem points. The exchange is 1 point for 1 unit of emotion. For every 10,000 points he collects, he gets 1 draw in the system's lottery. This discovery shows him a clear, though morally questionable way to gain power. Jin's biggest wish is for the metamorphosizing fruit. This is a formal prize that can reform his meridians and improve his natural talents, finally letting him overcome his E-rank limits. The system notes that a formal prize is guaranteed only after every 100 draws. Jin quickly calculates that he needs 1 million points of negative emotion. This goal makes him look at his most available resource, his schoolmates at the Zhong Spiritual Warrior Academy. All of them already hate him. He arrives at the school and immediately starts collecting points from all the hate he receives. He tells everyone he became stronger and boasts about himself. Principal Wang, who still feels negative from past encounters, announces a surprise spiritual warrior test for all students. Jin sees this as the perfect opportunity. Before the test, he starts a new business. He promotes himself as the delivery agent for the school cafeteria, which is run by Madame Zhou. He walks through the halls taking meal orders with a boastful attitude. This already gathers points from his annoyed peers. During the test, he steps up to the testing machine. With 1 punch, he does not just get a high score, he completely breaks the machine. The show of raw power stuns everyone. It creates a huge wave of negative emotions from the principal and the students. Using the shock to his advantage, Jin starts another scheme. He claims his sudden strength comes from magical water from an ancient well in his hometown. He conveniently leaves out a key side effect, one he knows very well. He sells small glasses of this water from his vending machine to his eager schoolmates. They are desperate for any advantage. The result is immediate and causes widespread hair loss across the academy. Everyone starts to hate him even more, and he gets many more points for that. Meanwhile, Alexander has left Katarina in her snake form inside Jin's room. The plan is for her to wait there and attack Jin when he arrives. Alexander himself comes to the academy to confront Jin directly. Jin is organizing the lunch boxes for students who ordered through him. He has a huge kettle of soup by his side that he plans to give free to everyone who ordered. Alexander plans to poison Jin with a needle. He shoots the needle, but it accidentally hits the kettle and poisons the soup. Wu Lang, who also studies at the same school, arrives and helps Jin deliver the food. The poisoned soup from Madame Zhou's cafeteria, which Jin delivers, makes the entire student body and staff fall unconscious. And to confirm it, the idiot Wu Lang tastes it and also falls unconscious. Jin turns to the system. He has finally collected enough points for the coveted 100 draws. The lottery results in a consolation prize, but it is exactly what he needs. The antidote soybean, a cure for all poisons. The system delivers a large quantity. Alexander confronts Jin. He demands that Jin hand over an unspecified item. A fierce battle begins. Alexander can absorb and redirect Jin's attacks. The fight becomes more intense and draws the attention of Principal Wang. The principal's intervention creates an opening. Jin uses his spatial power in a moment of desperation. He teleports Alexander into the sky above and throws him down. Jin gives the antidote to everyone, saving the school. He is hailed as a hero. The antidote beans come with the unfortunate side effect of causing severe diarrhea. The saved schoolmates end up pooping everywhere. Despite this, Jin uses the moment for a final publicity stunt. He gives an interview to the media. He proudly takes credit for solving the poisoning incident. He smoothly uses the platform to promote his two businesses, his meal delivery service, and his stall at the Zhang Night Market, where he is the exclusive agent for Red Delicious brand swim trunks. Meanwhile, we also see a mysterious organization reviewing the events, and their interest in the unusual student from Zhang grows stronger. Jin enjoys his new local fame as the spatial spiritual warrior who saved his school from poisoning. This celebrity status, and a little more hatred that comes with it, helps him reach the big milestone. He finally eats the long-awaited metamorphosizing fruit, a formal prize from the ultimate street vending system. The fruit's effect is immediate and powerful. A surge of spiritual energy moves through his body, reforming his meridians and maximizing his innate talents. He feels himself changing into a true prodigy, which is very different from his old E-rank limits. However, the system's nature stays unpredictable. The consolation prizes from his 100 draws cause new problems. He gets a pack of 6 zodiac animal biscuits, each one filled with the power of a different Chinese zodiac sign. He also receives a very bright green hat. This hat has a strange feature. A small living bean seedling grows from its top. This accessory has an annoying side effect. It makes everyone who looks at Jin feel intense and irrational anger. It makes people want to punch him as soon as they see him. To celebrate his transformation, Jin goes to a hot pot restaurant with his friend Wu Lang. There, Wu Lang orders a huge amount of food. Jin has no money to pay, so he goes to call Madame Zhou to arrange payment. Before leaving, he gives Wu Lang the zodiac animal biscuits to eat. Wu Lang eats one biscuit and starts acting like a dog. He goes outside and pees on a car. Surprisingly, inside the car are Ying Su, who is Jin's childhood crush, and Xiao Yao, her best friend. They come inside the restaurant and Jin finally meets Ying Su, a girl he knew from the orphanage over 12 years ago. Xiao Yao, a beast-morphing spiritual warrior, is immediately hostile toward Jin. The green hat and its irritating bean seedling make the situation even more uncomfortable. The hat draws negative attention from other people in the restaurant. Ying Su seems angry at Jin, especially about a promised meeting that he did not keep years earlier. When asked about Jin, Ying Su decides to leave the restaurant. She and Xiao Yao drive away in their car. Alexander arrives at the restaurant and confronts Jin. He demands that Jin hand over an unknown item. A fight starts, and Alexander uses spiritual binding handcuffs on both Jin and Wu Lang. Jin tries to deal with Alexander. He opens his spatial storage space and takes out all his cartons. He finally finds the burning blood injection that Alexander wants among his things. He hands it over to Alexander, but by doing this, Jin mentions Katarina's name. Alexander now thinks Jin is holding Katarina captive. He attacks them. In desperation, Jin lets Wu Lang eat another one of the zodiac animal biscuits. This biscuit gives Wu Lang temporary but overwhelming bull strength. This power allows them to escape from the restaurant. They keep running. Wu Lang eats one biscuit after another. Each biscuit makes him transform into a different zodiac animal, which helps them run and escape from Alexander. But Alexander continues to chase them. Ying Su and Xiao Yao notice Jin riding on Wu Lang's back as he runs behind their car. Xiao Yao tells Ying Su to go and talk to him. Ying Su stops the car. Wu Lang jumps over the car with Jin, and Alexander crashes into the car. The girls get out and see Alexander is unconscious. They take him to the hospital thinking he needs help. They also pick up the burning blood injection thinking it might be his medicine. In the hospital, Alexander lies unconscious. Xiao Yao goes to ask a doctor about the burning blood injection, thinking it could help the man. In the emergency room, she finds Wu Lang and Jin. A doctor is cutting their handcuffs using a chainsaw. Once they are free, Jin sees Xiao there and asks her about Ying Su. Then he leaves to check on Ying Su. Xiao Yao shows the doctor the burning blood injection. Seeing that injection, Wu Lang panics. He knows they are in danger now. Alexander wakes up and starts looking for the burning blood injection desperately. Jin finds Ying Su and tries to talk to her. Both of them say at the same time that they have something to tell each other, but just then Alexander attacks them. Ying Su remembers a memory from their childhood. She remembers Jin telling her that he has got her back, but when she opens her eyes, she finds herself handcuffed to Jin in the back of a car. 10 years ago, during the spiritual calamity, many children became orphans. One of them was a young Jin. He was only 6 years old, but already dreamed of becoming a spiritual warrior. He often got into fights to protect other weaker children. He frequently took a beating himself. He found guidance in a book called 30 Skills to be a Spiritual Warrior. The book taught him that protecting the weak was a warrior's most important mission. This idea became his main motivation, even when no one thanked him for his efforts. On the other hand, Ying Su's childhood was full of loneliness and rejection. Her quiet personality and seemingly cold eyes made potential adoptive families decide against her. A teacher once gave her a special candy box and a lesson about hidden beauty under an icy shell. This taught Ying Su to build emotional walls to protect herself. She developed a habit of confronting the toughest person in every new place to establish her position. This cycle continued until she met Jin. He was the first person to stand up for her without being asked. He took a severe beating to defend her. This act broke through her emotional walls, and a deep bond formed between them. She started to rely on his protection, which became a constant in her life. This continued until the day her fire powers awakened and the Zhang family adopted her, separating them for 12 years. In the present, Jin and Ying Su remain trapped by the spiritual binding handcuffs. Jin struggles to find a way out when his ultimate street vending system reveals a new function. The system now allows him to use his accumulated stall fees as skill points. He immediately invests all his points into an unlocking skill, pushing it to the master level. However, the system's literal interpretation creates a new problem. It does not simply unlock the cuffs. Instead, it fills his mind with complete theoretical knowledge of lockpicking, leaving him to find a physical tool. Meanwhile, Wu Lang and Xiao Yao are desperately trying to find their friends. They realize Alexander took their car, so they use its GPS to track him to an abandoned warehouse. Back in the warehouse, Alexander threatens to kill Ying Su, but Jin tells him to kill him instead. They argue, and just as Alexander is about to use his chainsaw on Jin, Jin removes his green hat. The bean seedling has grown on his head. He removes the seedling and uses it to pick the lock on the handcuffs. Then he uses his spatial ability to escape with Ying Su. But just as they leave the warehouse, Xiao Yao and Wu Lang arrive in their car. They crash into the warehouse and hit Alexander, slamming him into a wall. Soon, a fight begins between the four friends and Alexander. Wu Lang transforms into a bear, and Xiao Yao into a dog. Ying Su uses her fire abilities and Jin uses his spatial attacks. Alexander proves too strong for them because he can absorb their attacks and then use them back against the group. Ying Su uses a powerful fire attack on Alexander. Alexander absorbs it and multiplies its power tenfold before attacking her with it. But in time, Jin moves in front of her to protect her. The fire hits him, but mysteriously does nothing. The system tells him that he is invincible when he is standing on his vending cloth. Alexander shouts at him, and Jin teleports Alexander high into the sky. Then Jin uses his 6 nuclear bomb drink. He dares Alexander to absorb its power. The resulting explosion is too much for Alexander's absorption capacity. Finally defeating the powerful enemy, Jin tells Ying Su to witness the spectacle of a meteor shower. It turns out that years ago, before getting adopted, Ying Su told him to watch the meteor shower with her the next night. But Jin, trying very hard to awaken his spiritual powers, ends up brutally injured and misses it. That was the reason she still was angry, believing he did not come to meet her that day. Jin gets startled in his room, waiting patiently for his return. Jin attempts to de-escalate the situation by asserting they are on the same side. He informs her that Alexander ensured the reagent would be passed to her, but she wonders where Alexander is. Jin explains that she spells out to his system, Vendi, desperate to use a lucky draw for help. He questions Vendi about his condition, diseases, and boost energy. Jin makes a shake from it, but the taste is horrible. Almost immediately, he experiences a medical emergency, noticing blood in his stool. Cab is part of it. Later, he is lying back in his room. Katarina comes out of her basket and checks on him. He lies, saying the torch landlord's belongings. Alone for a moment, Jin celebrates receiving the reward money. Just then, Xiao Yao persists. Just then, having changed her clothes, Katarina comes in. Jin attempts to calm Xiao Yao by creating a false story. He claims Katarina is a wholesale buyer from Snowfield who placed a large order for his merchandise with a significant deposit. He insists that completing this business deal is very important for his future. He pleads for Xiao Yao. Katarina explains that ancient Snowfield teaches by carving information on the shells. She reveals that vital intelligence is never kept on a single turtle. While they search through the tank, Jin tells Katarina to jump into the gate on her own. Desperate for a solution, Jin turns to the ultimate street vending system. He uses his points to draw a prize, 30 minutes of extreme good luck. His luck skyrockets. He quickly stumbles the warehouse into the river. Luo and her team arrive, but keep searching the river for those men. Jin unbinds Xiao Yao, and they both keep escaping. During the chaos, Jin's bad luck causes him to accidentally draw out the golden durian and crack it. This results in a huge explosion, and Su's grandfather, she thanked him for always being by her side during trouble, a recurring theme in their relationship. In the present, Yingsu was going to negotiate with Tian, a man known for his unwelcome advances toward her. Xiao Yao said she had a plan. She wanted Jin to use his power to take her with him to infiltrate the Luo Oceanian building to ensure Yingsu's safety during the meeting. Very kitchen workers. The head chef tries to lure Katarina, and she knocks him out. Jin tells Katarina that he brought her here so she could enjoy the meal, and she begins eating. Just then they hear someone coming. He pleads with Katarina to transform into a snake and hide inside a kettle. They do this just in time as Tian enters. Inside the meeting room, Tian tries to enforce his agenda of combining both the Luo and Zhang families through a marriage with Yingsu. During this, Jin enters with the dishes. He serves Yingsu, her favorite one. Though surprised to see him, she immediately tastes it, and he then serves the live slug to Tian, who tries to eat it but gets it stuck in his mouth. Jin gives him water, but adds diarrhea causing beans to it. Tian drinks it embarrassed. Yingsu asks him why he is there, and he says he just happened to be. She remarks that he always plays dirty with someone for her no matter what. He reveals his purpose is to gather evidence against the Luo Oceanian group. Their investigation leads them to discover a secret meeting between Luo Bei, the patriarch of the Luo family, and members of the notorious Rakshasa gang. They learn the takeover is not just business, but a criminal operation involving blackmail and intimidation. Jin tells Yingsu to take photos for proof, but she does so with her shutter sound on, so they're found out. Meanwhile, Tian goes to the toilet and then goes to fire Jin, but he finds Katarina in her snake form causing havoc as she eats everything, and she immediately attacks him. We see Liu Bei has bound Jin and Yingsu in his lightning quintuple chains, and they struggle to break free. The men from Rakshasa tell him to kill them. In a desperate move, Jin plays on Liu's emotions by mentioning his son Tian, saying Tian will betray him if he kills the girl he wants to negotiate with. Just then, Liu hears Tian crying. It turns out Katarina, now grown into a huge snake and drunk after having alcohol, has wrapped her body around him and is smashing him around. She enters from one wall and crashes through another, tearing it apart. A chaotic chase ensues through the building with Liu Bei desperately following the snake, which is drunk and causing havoc with his son. Jin and Yingsu, now free, also trail behind, along with members of Rakshasa. Soon, Katarina bursts through the roof of the building with his son. Liu throws lightning at her to save his son, but in time, Jin puts her in a pot. The lightning is about to hit his son, but Liu Bei jumps in front of him and gets hit instead. Tian lands with his roasted father, and the Rakshasa men surround Jin and Yingsu. Tian reveals his ruthless plan to eliminate Yingsu and stage her death as an accident, but using his spatial powers, Jin opens multiple portals with cameras and journalists behind them to secure footage of Tian's intentions and his plans with the Rakshasa group, so he's exposed. The aftermath is reported on the news. The Luo Oceanian group's acquisition bid collapses, and a formal investigation into their activities begins. Jin and Yingsu share a quiet meal where he encourages her not to bear heavy burdens alone in the future and to rely on him. But he suddenly remembers that he forgot about Xiao Yao at the bus station. Jin continues to use Katarina as bait to lure members of the White Shark organization one by one. He coordinates with Dark Knight to have these assassins arrested. For each person captured, Dark Knight pays Jin a reward of 100,000 yuan. This arrangement provides him with a steady income for his efforts. One evening, Jin sits with Katarina at his vending spot. She is busy eating and offers him a piece of her food. He receives a call from Luo of Dark Knight. Liu informs him that the mission involving Katarina is now cancelled. White Shark has declared Katarina a traitor, placing her in serious danger. Luo suggests that the safest option is for Dark Knight to take Katarina into protective custody. She believes this is the only way to guarantee her safety from the threats of her former organization. Meanwhile, Katarina expresses a desire to eat River Snail's rice noodles from a favorite stall in an alley. However, the stall has already closed for the day, so they plan to go tomorrow. Jin decides against handing Katarina over to Dark Knight. He does not want her to go under their protection. He tells her to skip the night market and try a different meal somewhere else. Just then, Wu Lang arrives. He asks Katarina if they can be friends. Wu Lang insists on joining them for dinner and even offers to pay. He suggests eating hot spicy pot at a new restaurant near his home. He mentions that he has already shown Katarina's photo to his mother, but Katarina's love for food makes her agree to go with him. Members of Dark Knight arrive at the location, but Jin quickly takes Katarina and Wu Lang into a car and they drive away. Dark Knight vehicles follow them. Wu Lang drives the car while continuing his friendly but awkward questions. He asks Katarina about her zodiac sign and birthday. He is surprised to learn she has never celebrated a birthday or even knows what one is. Wu Lang becomes determined to give Katarina her first birthday celebration. Luo keeps calling Jin's phone, but he declines the calls repeatedly. The Dark Knight cars continue to pursue them. Jin forces Wu Lang to take a quick turn toward the seaside, allowing them to avoid the following vehicles. Jin explains that this seaside location is suitable for a simple and discreet celebration. Wu Lang is unhappy with the lack of a proper cake or candles. Jin then reveals he has a temporary solution. He leads a basic singing of happy birthday for Katarina. He presents a pudding as a substitute for a birthday cake. Wu Lang tells Katarina to make a wish, but she does not understand the concept. Jin explains that a wish is a hope for something wonderful to happen. So, Katarina makes a wish to be with them, and they all eat the pudding. To make up for the absence of fireworks, Wu Lang takes 2 signal flares from his car. He launches one into the sky, creating a bright light that looks like fireworks. Katarina is fascinated by the display. However, the flare also acts as a signal, revealing their location to their pursuers. Jin quickly realizes the danger and urges everyone back into the car. Jin admits to Katarina that he has been lying to her about some things. He confesses his deception, but asks for one final opportunity to make things right. He promises to help her escape Zhongchang City and avoid both White Shark and Dark Knight. Wu Lang feels embarrassed by Jin's confession, but agrees to assist. The birthday pudding they ate contained a shape-shifting agent that lasts for 30 minutes. This substance allows Jin to take on Katarina's biometric data. He uses it to transform Katarina's appearance into an exact copy of himself and his own appearance into Katarina's. So, his plan is to act as a decoy while Katarina gets away. Soon, a helicopter from Dark Knight intercepts them. They stop, and from inside the car, Wu Lang and Jin emerge. It turns out the real Katarina is already at the railway station and is about to leave the city on a train. Katarina receives a delivery arranged by Jin. The package contains a note with clear instructions. The note tells her to stay calm, travel south, and avoid Snowfield completely. It emphasizes that she should not return and includes a light-hearted reminder to pay for her meals. The Yang night market is busy with its usual crowd. At a stall serving authentic northeastern China skewers, a man named Tarovsky sits patiently. He is a senior assassin from the White Shark organization, known for his perfect mission completion rate. His current mission involves seizing the burning blood reagent and coordinating with partners hidden in Jiangchang. He watches Jin closely from another stall. Jin is on a call with Luo from the Dark Knight organization. She expresses high suspicion about his activities. Luo insists that Jin return to Dark Knight headquarters for close monitoring. She warns him against any more tricks and arranges for an agent named Raptor to pick him up the next morning. Tarovsky believes that every powerful individual has a weakness. Through careful observation, he plans to exploit Jin's critical flaws for a decisive victory. Tarovsky decides to offer something irresistible to lure him into a trap. He sets his plan in motion. He purchases skewers and has them sent to Jin's table. He claims Jin resembles a long-lost elementary school classmate. Along with the food, he gives Jin a coupon for a free stay at a hot spring in Snow Country, including 3 meals. The coupon is for single use only and expires soon. Jin feels suspicious about receiving random gifts, believing it often means trouble. However, the offer of a free vacation appeals to his frugal nature. Jin decides to use the coupon and organizes a trip to Snow Country. He invites Yingsu, Wu Lang, and Xiao Yao to join him. He fails to mention that the coupon is only for one person. They travel to Snow Country, a remote region covered in snow and dense forests with very few people. Tarovsky, along with hundreds of his men, is already waiting for Jin there, thinking it is a perfect place for an ambush. Upon arrival, they discover the hot spring does not exist. The location is barren with terrible roads that cause car trouble. Jin's friends express their frustration, but they decide to make the best of the situation by camping. Wu Lang and Xiao Yao gather supplies from the car to set up camp, while Jin and Yingsu take a walk in the snow. During their walk, they reminisce about their childhood in the orphanage. They recalled how Yingsu would sneak out in the snow and Jin would follow her. Tarovsky and his men continue tracking them hidden in the snow. The men are desperate to attack, but Tarovsky, thinking himself too intelligent, keeps telling them to wait. During the walk, Yingsu expresses concern about Jin's readiness for an upcoming challenge. She suddenly attacks him with a fireball to test his true strength. Jin deflects the attack into the forest, inadvertently starting a small fire on one of the white shark assassins. She keeps throwing fireballs at Jin, and he keeps dodging and deflecting using his spatial ability. This accidentally causes whole squads of assassins to burn, along with the trees around them. But the assassins keep hiding as the idiot Turovsky tells them not to reveal their position. Ying-Su later explains, her actions are related to the spiritual test, an important competition where teams hunt spiritual beasts and collect spiritual beads. She wants to team up with Jin, Xiaoyao, and Wu Lang. Their team needs to qualify for the top ranks, which could allow Jin and Wu Lang to transfer to the prestigious Songjiang Spiritual Warrior College. The team discusses their strategy. Jin proposes a formation where he provides crowd control with his spatial powers. Wu Lang acts as the tank, and Ying-Su and Xiaoyao handle damage and ambushes. They joke about team names, eventually settling on everything Jin said is right. Unbeknownst to them, Turovsky and his white shark team keep observing from the forest. They had planned to ambush the group when they separated to look for food or water. However, Jin's spatial storage contains ample supplies, including food for a hot pot meal, so the group never needs to leave their campsite. One of Turovsky's men grows impatient with the wait and decides to attack directly. He first beats the idiot Turovsky and then attacks with others. Jin and his friends fight back, but they are outnumbered. Jin uses his teleportation abilities and the stall cloth for defense, but his spiritual power depletes quickly. Xiaoyao gets injured and the situation looks dire. Jin remembers he can contact Luo for help and sends a distress signal with his real-time location. During the fight, Turovsky reveals a unique power that allows him to temporarily nullify the abilities of any spiritual warrior he touches. He grabs Jin, preventing him from using his spatial powers and taunting him as weak. Then he starts draining blood from Jin's body. However, the burning blood reagent inside Jin's body activates, giving him a sudden surge of strength. He breaks free and fights back with enhanced power. At the critical moment, Luo arrives with Dark Knight reinforcements, and they quickly subdue the remaining white shark assassins. Luo approaches Jin, insisting he return with her to headquarters. Jin, exhausted from the fight and blood loss, collapses before he can respond. His friends rush to his side, worried about his condition. Jin wakes up in a medical facility under the watchful care of Captain Luo. He feels disoriented and asks about his condition. Medical staff conduct various tests on him. Luo contacts headquarters for the results. The consultation reveals a serious situation. The burning blood reagent inside Jin is a support substance designed to boost a spiritual warrior's rank by speeding up metabolism. During his recent battle, he unconsciously overused it, releasing more energy than his body can handle. The diagnosis is very grave. Jin must increase his spiritual rank from bronze 3 stars to silver within 7 days. If he fails, his accelerated metabolism will cause his death. His body would then become a valuable research specimen for a high-ranking official known as Ice God. The countdown begins right away. Jin has exactly 163 hours and 57 minutes to achieve 7 consecutive level-ups. Dark Knight promises its full support in this desperate race against time. The plan involves giving him a daily supply of high-quality spiritual beads. However, his ability to absorb their energy efficiently is the real challenge. Jin starts training with optimism. He absorbs spiritual beads and quickly rises 1-star level due to his unique talent for full energy absorption. This early success makes him confident. Captain Luo offers a realistic perspective. She reminds him that each subsequent level requires much more spiritual energy. With an A+ aptitude rating herself, it took her 3 years to advance from bronze to silver. Calculations based on Jin's talent suggest a normal time frame of 4 months. The 7-day limit is not a goal, but a deadline for his survival. The only method to improve his absorption rate is through intense consumption of his spiritual energy. Dark Knight mobilizes its entire base, dividing personnel into 24 teams to train with Jin without stopping. Day and night, the training is brutal and continuous. Jin pushes himself to the limit, unlocking new combat skills like the polearm weapon technique, which he masters quickly. The increased intensity shows a slight improvement in energy absorption, but progress remains slow. Desperation leads Jin to consult his ultimate street vending system. He seeks a shortcut, and the system recommends a weekly formal prize called Heart-Thumping Pop Rocks. This item promises a 10-fold boost in spiritual energy absorption for 8 hours. However, obtaining it requires 100 consecutive draws, for which he lacks the redeem points. The system threatens to shut down due to insufficient points. He keeps drawing for 6 consecutive days, but these pop rocks come with a side effect. They make the consumer extra attractive to people around him. This results in officers becoming too attracted towards him, and even doing pole dances for him. This prevents him from sleeping for 6 days straight, as the officers keep being cheeky with him. On the 7th day, He goes to Luo's chamber and pleads to get in. Once inside, he wants to sleep. She also falls under his charm due to the side effect. He tells her that if he dies, she should go and tell his friends why he did not come. He even gives her a few things to give to them. He asks her to show him her face and remove the mask. Jin pleads with the system, arguing that his death would mean its end as well. He pressures Vendi into allowing a draw. To his shock, the prize is not the pop rocks, but a divine beauty pill, an item that enhances physical appearance. The system explains that an update changed the weekly prize. This outcome is a devastating blow as the pill offers no help for his critical situation. With only 17 hours remaining, they go to training, but the consultant appears and tells them that the convoy carrying vital gold rank spiritual beads is ambushed by white shark assassins. The theft suggests a mole within dark night. The loss of these beads makes Jin's mission nearly impossible. The team scrambles for a solution. Mr. Consultant recalls an abandoned project named Dollhouse, a training ground for high-ranking officers. It houses a platinum-ranked spiritual beast, the Fire Keelan. The spiritual bead within this creature contains enough energy to elevate Jin to silver rank instantly. This is their last hope. Jin and Luo venture into the derelict facility. The environment is hazardous and long forgotten. After a tense journey, they locate the Fire Keelan. The beast appears dormant, offering a fleeting chance to retrieve the bead without a fight. Jin runs towards the beast remains casually. Just when he turns, Mr. Consultant appears from the shadows suddenly and swings his sword at him. But Luo appears just in time to save Jin, and instead, her hand is cut off. Years ago, Mr. Consultant arrived in Snowfield for a crucial selection test for the White Shark organization. He had spent 10 years in rigorous training, swinging a sword 1,000 times each day for a single opportunity. Alexander selected him from hundreds of candidates for one reason. He was low-key. This trait made him ideal for espionage work as an undercover agent. He was recruited into Dark Knight, but only as an intern clerk. In this role, he did not swing his sword, and from that moment, he waited for the time he could finally return to using it. He checked in daily, slowly rising through the ranks from intern clerk to junior clerk and then to consultant. Each day blended into the next for 3,650 days. He often questioned how long he must maintain his cover, and the only answer he received was to be patient. His chance to wield his sword again seemed to arrive with a file labeled Burning Blood. Alexander informed him that successfully retrieving the reagent would allow his return to Snowfield. This hope shattered when news arrived that Alexander had been subdued by a student named Jin. Mr. Consultant's frustration turned into a vow that Jin would pay for ruining his opportunity. In the present, Mr. Consultant attacks Jin with his sword inside the dollhouse facility. Luo steps in front of Jin to protect him, and her hand gets cut off in the process. Jin runs while carrying Luo, but he cannot use his spiritual powers because the facility is constructed from spiritual binding iron ore that nullifies all spiritual abilities. The undercover consultant confronts them. He explains that within these walls, only raw physical skill matters, and he boasts about his 20 years of honed sword expertise. He declares himself unbeatable in this environment. Luo urges Jin to flee while she holds the agent off, but Jin refuses to leave her behind. The consultant attacks, confident in his superiority. However, Jin surprises him. Despite the nullification of his spatial powers, his recently mastered polearm weapon skills remain effective. He counters the consultant's attacks with a bone he picks up from the ground. A fierce battle ensues, culminating in Jin disarming the consultant and securing the Fire Keelan spiritual bead. The consultant, in a final act of defiance, destroys the precious bead rather than let Jin have it. With the bead gone and only 2 hours left until the burning blood consumes him, Jin faces certain death. He refuses to give up, desperately attempting to absorb any residual spiritual energy in the air. This action inadvertently awakens a horde of spiritual binding beasts, creatures that feed on spiritual energy. They swarm the area, and in the ensuing chaos, Luo is severely injured. As she lies bleeding, she experiences flashbacks to her own induction into Dark Knight and her vow to be a guardian of Linga. She remembers her first mission with her squad, a team that has maintained 0 losses under her command, and her personal oath to never let anyone die in front of her. When she opens her eyes, she finds Jin beside her. They are still in the facility, but somehow she is healed. Her hand has regrown and she looks absolutely stunning. Jin explains to her that he managed to fight off the beasts using the consultant's sword. In the process, he absorbs the spiritual energy from the beasts themselves, which finally allows him to break through to the silver rank. saving his life. He then used Vitality Ginseng to heal her critical wounds. In a moment of improvisation, he also gave her the Divine Beauty Pill, which restored her beauty. Jin talks with her about the meaning of her sacrifices. He argues that the people she saves would want her to live a full life herself. Her team finds them, expressing their joy and relief at her survival. Later, as they prepare to part ways, Luo sends Jin a gift through a subordinate. The gift is a gold rank spiritual bead from a ghost-faced toad. She considers this a fair trade for the events that transpired. Meanwhile, Ying Su and the others are waiting for Jin at the entrance to the Divine Pool spiritual test. He finally arrives there, and he proudly announces his new silver rank. So the team celebrates with him, but unbeknownst to them, we see two men watching them as they confirm Jin is the bearer of the Burning Blood reagent and their next target. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.